You're in the Dawgpound on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I'm TJ Grum.
I'm Matt Coomer.
And we're CSB grads.
And we're back in the Dawgpound.
Episode 3.
Trace. Uno, dos, tres. I've been working on my Spanish. I don't know if you can tell or not.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Speaking of CSB, Connecticut School of Broadcasting, we're here in Studio C of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, Cherry Hill campus. For more information, call 1-800-TV-RADIO or go to gocsb.com for more information. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. A little cold. I'm not cool with this whole Florida weather coming into my home state of Pennsylvania.
I'm not.
And messing down with my my half-hour rainstorms. Yeah. I mean, granted, I had a great time I had a great view of the lightning and stuff. I was like maybe 2 miles from the storm. It hit me. The downpour hit me, but when the lightning was out, it was getting a bunch of going through the clouds, going down spike, and probably started some fires. But hey, listen, it was pretty. I enjoyed it. It was pretty, and yeah, it was pretty. It was beautiful, actually.
Do you know what wasn't exactly beautiful?
Tell me.
The first half against the Eagles this past week for the Bulldogs, because this is the Dawgpound, Bulldogs. Defensively, at least, dog bite number 1. They won 40-18. They put up 30 in the first half, but they also let up 18, tying for the most they've given up in a single half.
Yeah, I mean, I think that most of what could have been the problem was that they didn't really game plan for that quarterback, Action Jackson, number 4 for the Val Eagles.
Yeah, we'll get to him a little bit, a little bit later in the segment, but yeah, I will say that. But there was a couple plays. It kind of just like there was a play. Keese jumped off sides, and they let the play go, and everybody thought it was a dead ball, and Jackson just threw a deep ball in the end zone, touchdown, and it's just one of those things like what's going like that's one of those. It's one of those mistakes plays where you're just like you should be playing till the whistle, and there was no whistle, and it seemed like everybody, including the Eagles, just took that play off. Jackson and the wide receiver were really the only guys that were paying attention and that knew, just go deep, and I'm going to throw you the ball. So that was the only play where there was a mistake on that I could really point and say, wow. There was a couple, bombs that got by the cornerback, but it's just...
that happens.
It does, and it's arena. You're going to get. Coach Carter said it last week. You're going to get beaten in the Arena League, but they left 18 points to the Eagles, to the Delaware Valley Eagles, the same team that only has 1 win aside from these forfeiture wins against the Freedom. That's just. I mean, the Eagles came out to play. I think it was maybe the hardest a team has played that against them, but. Again, it wasn't. The Eagles let up 30 points, which I know I'm harping on the bad. But
yeah, you really are harping on the bad way too much right now.
It's frustrating because that's the Eagles, and I know Turk probably was thinking the same thing as the Eagles.
But then look at the final score. He ends up pulling Merritt in the fourth quarter, not pulling him, giving him rest.
Yeah.
And they still score 10 more points after that, and they put 40 points on the board. And yeah, granted they let up 18, but they still scored 40.
Yeah,
it's not like they won 40-38, and it was a real big nail biter. I mean, they scored.
I know,
it was 30-18 at half.
I know, but it's just you shouldn't be letting up 18 points to the Eagles. I can't. I still just can't fathom it. Like it's just I understand. You know what? We'll get to dog bite 2 now. Dog bite number 2. Action Jackson, as I just called him, as you referred to him, because I referred to him as that. Aaron Jackson. Different quarterback for the Eagles this week. They not the big number 12 that had one of the worst attitudes that you've seen. You said I've seen worse, but yeah,
that's awful. That guy. I mean, I don't know if he's still on the team, if he got cut, or if he got suspended, or whatever.
I believe he got suspended. He was kind of in the middle of that brawl, in that little that big fight against the Steelers that ended the game prematurely. He might have been suspended. He might be out of the IGL, but I know he wasn't playing.
Either way, he wasn't starting quarterback, and they had a different quarterback in that slot. And I feel like it was the same kind of thing that happened week 1 with the Bulldogs when they played the Chiefs. Tyreek Smith. They didn't know who he was. They had no game film on him. They didn't know what type of player he was, and he was that type of player that could make plays with his feet, and he had the accuracy to put the ball on the money with the throw. And I feel like this is who they played with Action Jackson, who scored 18 points in one half and can't put up anything else in the second half. Action Jackson. Yeah, good. You scored 18 points in a half. What did you do in the second half?
0.
Nothing. You didn't know anything. So realistically, your team did absolutely nothing in the second half. Turk did what he needed to do with this team, and brought him around in the second half. Everyone woke up, and they didn't even play their stars in the fourth quarter. So realistically, this game was laughable the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't game plan for this quarterback, and I feel like that's why they got so surprised. I mean, yeah, usually when the guy jumps off sides, the play goes unless he touches somebody. But then again, with these referees in this league, you don't really know what's.
Yeah,
they're not going to blow the whistle to stop a play.
I know you weren't there. You know, you were Firefly. Understandable. You know, it's Firefly. You bought tickets. How was it, by the way?
Fantastic.
Best time.
A lot of great bands, a lot of great music, great company. It was a heck of a weekend.
I'm happy. You know, it's good. I know you were kind of bummed that you were going to miss this weekend of IGL action, but you know you had Firefly tickets.
Yes, it did.
But yeah, so it's just those refs are awful again. What else is new? It's coming a weekly occurrence. Especially, I mean, just for us to talk about. I don't know if IGL weekly is talking about it.
And I love hating on referees. I love it.
You let them know.
And it counts for Rock Intramural basketball where I grew up at. I lead the league all time in technical fouls.
Whoa, come on, get off that a little bit. Come on.
No. I am holding. If you can hold on to your high school football, I play offensive line forever. Then I'm holding on to my somewhat not at all good at basketball days. I could play defense. That's all I could do. That
Kevin Garnett type defense. You just jaw jack everybody.
The kid named Mutombo type defense with the Rasheed Wallace attitude.
You give him the finger wave?
Oh, all the time.
No.
Not
today.
Dude, I feel like if Mutombo's waving his finger, you get like a breeze. Oh, dude, cool me down. Thanks, Mutombo.
You know what was a breeze though? That second half, they did shut down the Eagles. The Bulldogs shut down the Eagles.
How about? No, do you know what? I'm gonna throw this one out there right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Dog bite number D.
Number D.
Part D.
Dos.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're giving your own dog bite number 2.
I'm giving my own dog bite number 2.
All right, go ahead.
The Dijon Thomas saga continues.
Yes.
God, can you believe he plays defense? Do you know that?
I
didn't know he could play defense. I had no idea he could play defense.
I feel like we're like Booby Miles' uncle in Friday Night Lights. He can run, he can catch, he can throw, he can do this, he can kick the extra. He was kicking kickoffs this week again. Yeah. The designated kicker was not there this week. Maybe he got fed up with the IGL as well. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, and then it's and some. Oh, and he can play defense.
Yeah,
you know,
amazing.
He had a 2-point conversion where our saga, part 3 happened. You just went up and got it. They didn't get not happening. He works hard. Pulled the trigger. He had a touchdown. First touch. You know, again, deep bomb. I think it was like 33 yards. Pulled the trigger.
It's a great way to get on top and stand with the lead.
It's a lot easier to play in front than it is playing behind. But I mean, the Bulldogs have proven that they can do both. But you're right there.
I'm more than okay.
All right. So you know, and then like I said, one of the cornerbacks got burnt twice, and then he had a pass interference on a 3rd and long, and it was frustrating. And then you see Dijon effing Thomas playing defensive cornerback.
He's 6'4", playing,
and he plays he is the best receiver in the IGL.
He brought the hands to the defensive side of the ball with those 2 picks.
He 2 picks.
Yeah.
Dijon Thomas, get off me for defense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Then there was 5.
I didn't see it coming.
There's a 5th one. For reserved for a touchdown. He put the D in Dijon is for defense, and the O is for offense. If there was a K in his name somewhere, it'd be for kicking.
Okay, that's fair.
You're not sell that at all. You just let it. You know.
There's no K in his name though.
There is no. I just said if there was though. Give me a break. I'm reaching. You know, it's just. reaching for material. I'm a little, what do you, I mean, we're just talking about them winning again. Come on, give me a break. I don't want them to lose, but they're winning.
It's everything. Every time they step out in that field, I feel like no matter who they're playing, what the deal is, I mean, we'll even talk to Kareem Wright. We're gonna have later today,
and Joe Fayad.
We're gonna have Joe Fayad too, and we're gonna get their take on the offensive line and how they really come together. And the offensive line is heart and soul of a football team.
Yeah.
So if you don't have an offensive line, you can't win football games. So we're gonna get their take on how they feel about the season, how they feel about each other, and
some other stuff.
Yeah, some other stuff.
From what we're being told, there will be other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
definitely gonna be a good time.
Before we go, dog bite number 3, the running game woke up.
Trois,
Trace,
trois.
Zwei? I don't know German all that well. All I know is the running game woke up. Carl Graham Rusty had hit a kick return, so that's part. I guess you can count that as the running game, and then he had a lot of good runs, including a touchdown run. Look good.
Yeah.
And it's just another facet.
Exactly. And with the facet, with the offensive line that these Bulldogs have, I mean, that everyone likes run blocking better than pass blocking. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
as an offensive lineman in high school, I loved run blocking.
I'm sure you did, TJ, because I'm sure your high school football team is really good at passing since you played in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Yeah.
Eastern Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
Western Pennsylvania has some pretty good quarterbacks.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But not in Philadelphia area.
No. Just running.
At least
just a lot of running.
The burbs where I grew up.
A lot of running. And a lot of fat guys. I was not one of them.
You were lean back in high school.
I
right?
was lean.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I was lean and mean.
The TJ Grum machine.
Machine.
Oh,
mean
geez.
Machine.
Yeah, you're
lean machine. I was a lean machine.
The lean machine?
Yeah.
That's okay. Why not?
I wasn't though.
You can be the lean machine.
What are we calling you?
I never played football.
What are we calling you in the rec?
I don't know, red card.
You're wearing a red shirt. I don't know. I guess we can. All right, we'll call it the red card. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh man, good times. So, I mean, like I said, the running game came back. Not even came back. It was never there. Now it's there, and it looked good. Another facet. Now you got to prepare for the passing game. You know, you got to prepare for the Wildcat. Now you got to prepare for the run game. Oh yeah, and then you have to prepare for the defense. It's just, these Bulldogs are the most complete team in the IGL, bar none.
Regardless of what position you want to pick at, or you want to attack, or you want to pinpoint on, there's the other positions is going to come back and just if you don't compensate for that for the left end instead of the right end, or you want to blitz the right side of the line to the left side, it doesn't matter. They're going to pick it up. Yeah. They do everything as a team, and it's awesome to watch. It's great to be a part of, and it's everything about it is just fun and constant entertainment.
Yeah, and it was a game that took us by surprise. I mean, just in general, we thought that, you know, if you listened to last week's episode, we were under the assumption it was playoffs. IGL made a change late in the week, like Thursday night, late in the week. That the Bulldogs were playing. So, I mean, we don't really want to preview anything just because we're not entirely sure. There's a lot of things going around. Playoffs, another regular season
Playoffs.
game. Playoffs. So there's a lot of stuff that could happen. We're not going to really preview much because, you know, we don't want to give you listeners false information. That's not what we're about. We're not about that life.
No.
But
we're all about the facts.
We're all about the facts,
the truth,
and the fun.
Exactly.
Which we're going to get to after the break when Big Kareem, the Dream, former Harlem Globetrotter, Wright, that's too many things in between his name, Kareem Wright, offensive lineman for the New Jersey Bulldogs, big number 99, comes into the dog pound. It's going to get fun.
It's going to get rowdy.
It's going to be just, I can't come up with a word for it. But we'll be right back here on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I'm TJ.
And I'm Matt. It actually might get a little cramped in here.
It's going to get a little, we're going to be looking for space. We'll be right back.
Welcome all our fans out there. You're listening to the Dog Pound on All Noise Radio. Right now you're standing with here. We have Simba, all right, son of Mufasa, right? And this little guy behind me here, this is my shadow. All right, one of the best corners in the league. Introduce yourself.
Bob for marketing. Bob for marketing. That's all you need to know. Bob for marketing.
Okay, you heard it here first. But also, Simba, we want to say a couple words to him. Anything to say? We're on the dog pound now. We got to be dogs. We got to show them what the dogs do.
So he just drawed on me, dog. This is my son. Yeah, man. Like, what's up, man?
You heard it here first.
Well,
if he don't have nothing to say, we have here Coach Carter.
I just want to send a shout out to his son, Akuna Matata.
Well, there you have it first here at the dog pound with the Bulldogs in practice. After another great day, you see it. Bulldogs 2013. Catch us in the playoffs. Coming to a Wells Fargo Center near you.
Broadcasting on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I'm TJ.
And I'm Matt.
You want to introduce?
And we got one of our very special, one of the most talented players on the Bulldogs, number 99, Kareem Wright. Kareem, it's good to have you.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be here.
I'm excited because I was at the practice last week, and you kind of just took over that whole idea I had, and our YouTube listeners got a peek of that a little bit before you came on. How are you feeling, big guy?
I'm feeling great. I'm excited. I'm amped up. It's been a great season, and I feel like this is still a lot more to come. We haven't even just chipped at a piece of what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like we've been given glimpses of great football. And we got the playoffs coming up. We got a lot of serious football ready. To come around to play in these next couple of weeks, and the guys are just chomping at the bit, ready to go.
Now, before we get into the playoffs and the nitty-gritty of the Bulldogs, give us a little bit of background about yourself, how you got involved in the football in general, and where your life is really taking you to get to the Bulldogs.
I guess, it's my life with football has been almost kind of like my life in general. It's been a roller coaster of millions of things all come together as a puzzle. It's when I started out, I was about 5 years old. And my mom originally didn't want me to play football.
Thought you were going to get hurt?
Yeah, my mom was, very protective. And my mom was an athlete. My mom ran track at Dell State. She's from Newark, and she, holds a lot of records out there in track and field. And, she was like, you can run track. You could do something that's non-invasive. And I'm like, well, people get hurt in track too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can pull a hamstring and do other things. But at that age, she was kind of like against it. But my father actually stuck me out to practice with him, and it was like, yeah, he's going to only be watching. And my mom came to the first game, and it was one of those games where it was like raining and mud everywhere, so you couldn't tell who was on what team, And,
those are the best games.
Yeah, I mean, and the guy, I went back and I hit the quarterback, and he dropped the ball, and I picked it up, and for a while nobody knew who had the ball because it's kind of like everybody's covered in mud.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I got the ball. And I just take off down the sideline. And my mom was like, man, that kid is fast, and I hear my mom yelling, like, go, go, go. And she looked at my father, and I think she must have realized when she looked at my dad's face that it was me running the ball. And I looked up, and she was running down the sideline with me, So, I got in the end zone, and I'm all excited. And I turn around, and I see it's my mom, and I don't know whether to run to the sideline to pretend I wasn't playing or whether to jump up and get mud all over her, So that's how I started out. And, my father played at Delaware State, and that's like our family school. Most of our family went to Delaware State. So, football was something that he always wanted me to do, mm-hmm. And I played for my father for years, the Pee-wees and all the way up. And I was always ahead of the weight class and the age that I should have been. So even when I was 5, I was playing with the 90-pounders, 60-pounders and 90-pounders. And they're like, oh, he's only 5. He shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. But once they saw me play and realized that I had the physicality, they were like, okay, well, even though he's underage, he can physically be out here. And, after I think I aged out of, like Pop Warner at like 11, I was just too tall. And mm-hmm. I was like 6'1", I just really was just too much for it. So my dad kind of was like, all right, well, you need to start preparing for other teams. And I was kind of playing with, the little amateur teams were all adults, up until I got to high school.
Wow.
And then it just I left football for a little while and went to my mom gave me a basketball in 8th grade and started out with little weekend bets. Oh, I bet you can't beat me, I bet you $1, and after a while I started beating her and she was like, you're starting to get kind of good, So I just kept working at it, I started meeting people like Bill Ellaby and different players from all over the city.
Okay.
And basketball started taking off. So then I was in that dilemma where I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was playing basketball. I was playing football. My coaches were kind of arguing about what I should be playing. I was picking up weight in football season and losing it for basketball season. So it was like a constant struggle, And even through high school, I couldn't decide between the two. My coaches always tried to get me to pick, and I just could never choose. So I think the only saving grace was I realized that basketball players have a longer career or a longer shelf life. So once I decided what college I wanted to go to, because I had offers from both sports, I couldn't even decide, So I just decided to take the basketball scholarship and went to Rutgers, played there 4 years. And my coach, I mentioned football to him, and he said, if you play football, I'm going to break your legs myself. So he said, because if you get injured, he was like, you're not going to keep a scholarship for getting hurt playing football. If you get hurt playing basketball, sure. So I said, well, I don't have the money for college, so don't worry, coach. I'm sticking with basketball. So it was kind of like, I left it alone, and I, for a while I thought it was a done deal for me. But once my senior year got done, they were like, you should go to a combine and look at possibly playing football. So I went to a couple combines, and I was, actually trying out as a tight end. They said you have great hands and things like that. And I heard about an opportunity to go to try out for some NBA teams. So I decided to jump on that. And that's when I went out to try out for the Lakers. I didn't make the final roster. But before that was all done, I actually had signed with the Harlem Globetrotters. So I didn't even have a chance to really explore that, the NBA racket too long, because I had found the opportunity to get with the Globetrotters. And once I went out and tried out, I made the team. They sent me my contract. I reviewed it. It was a done deal. And it was kind of like from there, my basketball career just kind of really took off, from Globetrotters to playing overseas. And it was like football was just a part of me that I always loved, but it was like, oh, it's done. And I came back, and I've been coaching, and I retired. I was like, all right, I'm going to focus on family and, coach basketball. And I come out of work one day, and lo and behold, Graham, our running back, a little rusty, he walked up to me and said, yo, you play football? And I said, not anymore. Kind of like those days are over. I tried to play a little semi-pro like the year before that, and, caught a dirty hit and hurt my leg a little bit. I scored a touchdown. The guy came and hit me after the play. And, it really messed my leg up, for a little bit. And I had to deal with that, So I said, no, I don't think I'm playing football. And I don't know. He was like, listen, this is a great opportunity. Call the coach, talk to him, and make a decision from there. So I called Turk, and we all know how, the type of words that Turks use. So when I told him, he says, I said, yeah, I'm about 6'10", 420 pounds, 6'11" actually. But he was like, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, you're a small guy. He said, no, and I don't think I want you on my team. I don't think I have space for a guy your size.
Wide receiver, right?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm coming to be a quarterback. So, he said, well, listen, you come out to practice. We'll work out a little bit, see what you can do, and then we'll go from there. And I think it was just like a love story. Once I walked in the door, it's kind of like everybody in practice was looking like, okay, like who brought the mountain inside the Life Center?
Yeah, I mean, I remember because we were at your first practice, and we were like, because Keese is the biggest guy there, and then all of a sudden a guy walks in bigger than Keese, and you're like. And I think it was supposed to be a scrimmage against like a New York team or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they never showed.
They never showed up or whatever. And we're like, oh, please tell us he's on the Bulldogs. Please on the Bulldogs. Thankfully you were. Otherwise, I don't know.
I'm kind of like used to it, man. It's like I get that all the time. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be in church, and the pastor will stop and be like, amen. Yeah. Praise Jesus, that guy. I mean, it's like let's get him to pass the collection plate around. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter where I'm at. My wife just, she's like, after being together for 10 years, I think she's starting to adjust to it. But she's like, listen, I'm a good-looking woman, and you're just soaking up all my attention out here. Like, what is this? She's used to having the eyes on her in the room, So it's like, that's what I said, babe, I can't control it. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I mean, I walk into a room, it lights up, or if I go out, I went out with the team, the guys, and we were outside talking for 2 minutes, and we looked up, and it was 40 people outside the hotel. And it wasn't like we was planned.
Yeah.
We didn't know where these people came from. It was kind of like party central in front of the hotel in less than 5 minutes. So I'm kind of used to it. It's just like, my friends say, I call me the life of the party. They're like, you get things going.
So we're opposites. I'm not the life of the party. And people look at me the other way. It's like, oh, wow, look how ugly he is. We need a picture. Sidebar a little bit. You went to Rutgers, right?
Yeah.
You played basketball there.
Yep.
Thoughts about that whole Mike Rice thing?
I mean, I think that it's a tough situation because, college basketball is tough. You know what I mean? And it's not made for everybody. You know what I mean? I always tell my players actually that, to be able to make it on any level, if you don't have thick skin and you don't have some kind of wherewithal about you that can dig deep, then this is not the sport for you because no matter what level, I mean, if you look at basketball in general, and you look at the coach nights and you look at all these great coaches, I'd be lying to you, or anybody would be lying to you and tell you that these coaches don't get all in you and these coaches don't test how tough you really are and they don't break you down and build you up into a better man. That happens across basketball. Now, I think that situation kind of got out of control because it was taken to a whole nother level. And of course, putting your hands on the player is inappropriate, but I've had coaches come up to me, to get you psyched up and, you're not doing what you got to do and give you a little chuck, say, get it together or pick it up or, a little tap on the back of the neck. You're like, yo, you got to go out there and play harder than that, but I think that it was kind of, you had a player that wasn't necessarily, probably never had a coach do that, and again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but to say that it doesn't happen in college basketball would be a lie. And I think a lot of programs do a good job of keeping that out of the limelight. And a lot of players understand why those coaches are like that. But, it's tough. It's a tough situation. And, I feel bad because, I love Rutgers with all my heart. Like I tell people I bleed scarlet. You know what I mean? Like that's my school. And, I'm always going to stick by him. And, it's kind of hard. I met Coach Rice, great dude, so it just, I think it was kind of like a bad decision, wrong timing, probably should have maybe known his players a little better, maybe seeded some players. You can't handle everybody the same way. Some players can handle a tough coach. Some players need to be pulled aside and coddled a little bit, So I think he probably just, he forgot the one main rule in basketball, and that's know your personnel. You know what I mean? I think it was one of those situations, and I think it was something about another coach that filmed it or something like that turned it in or something like that might have been released. So there's a whole lot of stuff to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to speculate. I just say that, that Rutgers is a great university, and I think that, they just kind of got some, like, bad attention, and, they're going to bounce back. They're going to bounce back, and I think Coach Rice, is going to make a better choice next time with whatever school he ends up at, But it's hard. It's a tough situation.
Yeah. It was one of those things, it came up, and I was like, all right, man,
we were talking about it actually last week. A friend of mine went to Penn State, so we were kind of going back and forth talking about that because the whole Sandusky thing for Penn State really, he's kind of like really saddened by it because he doesn't feel happy about telling people he went to Penn State now because people just really rag him about it, and he's like, man, listen, I go to a job interview or I'm going to do something about my company. He's like, before I would say, man, yeah, I'm Penn State grad and everything like that. And he's like, now that takes a whole section out of my speech. He says, I don't even want to tell people that because there's so much negative light on the school. And I said, yeah, I kind of like, I said, well, I still talk about my school. I said, regardless, because I said, I know that it wasn't going on. We didn't do these things when I was there. And, there were some bad decisions, but it was corrected and we move on. Yeah. You can't stay in the past and, because if not, I guess you can look at every school and say there's been something that has damaged the name of the school or affected the school. I mean, look at SMU. Yeah. That was a program that was a great football program and was, taking up the whole, the whole country. And then they had that whole blow up there and it kind of, people really never let it go. and it kind of killed the school. Like they're just now starting to recover from that. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can't hold on to something. You can't fault these players that are coming in or the players that are still there. You can't hold it against them.
No, and you really can't. But to pull it back to Bulldogs, you know, you've been one of the more noticeable players on the field. Not just because of your size, but because of your play.
Yeah.
You know, you're somebody who they have to double team just on defense, just to get through and whatnot. And it's one of these things that you handle it, and it's not like, you know, Bartok and then now Merritt, they don't really get hit all that often.
Yeah.
How many times are you taken out to dinner this season?
How many times I've been taken out?
Yeah, by the quarterback, of course.
No, no. I mean, it hasn't really been a whole lot, you know, coming from our side. I mean, not to say that it hasn't been work, you know, but you know, we take pride. I mean, I think I'm not just the only guy, but for me, it's personal. You know what I mean? And when I step on the field, you know, my father always taught me, when you step across that line, you got to be a lion, you got to be a wolf. You know, and anything in your way needs to be destroyed, you know, and leave nothing left or leave nothing on the field, no regrets. So I kind of play that way. I attack the field that way, and I try to bring the other guys up, you know, and I'm not one, like, I like to talk when I'm off the field, but when it comes to actually playing the game, you know, my teammates will tell you, like, I kind of I don't like hearing the same things over and over again. You know, I don't like to repeat the same stuff. If it happened, it happened. Now it needs to move on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you sit there and linger on it, you're going to make the same mistake. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, you can make a mistake. We're human. You know, but what are you going to do after that? You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how I play the game, you know. So I'll get on myself. Nobody's going to be a harder critic on me than me. I don't care what coach it is. If I make a mistake, trust me, I'm already reaming myself out about it. But then I move on, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make the next play. So, you know, I try to really, like, throw my weight around and push guys around and, you know, make them kind of regret seeing 99 by the time they get done playing. You know, if they go on the ground, I'm going to flop on top of them. I'm going to give you some extra beef that day.
Yeah. And one of the, and it was it's one of the, I don't want to call it a black eye on the whole season, because it's not coming from your guys' end, it's somebody else doing that cheap shot by the Bucks 52 on Merritt. You were the first guy to respond. Yeah. And you put a lot of beef behind that guy. Let him know that's not cool.
I mean, yeah, because I don't play like that. You know, as hard as I play, you know, one thing you'll never see is I don't play dirty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not out there to intentionally hurt anybody, because at the end of the day, we all here for a reason. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to further their career, you know, or take one step further. You know, we don't know what's going to hold, you know, be in the plans for us later on. You know what I mean? The soul could call me today or tomorrow, you know, but the last thing I want them to do is, I'm not going to be that player that they had to worry about, you know, that's going to be out there on the field making questionable plays, or that's going to be out in the street making questionable actions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when I saw that play, you know, that kind of person resonated in my mind, you know, and I don't like to see anybody take advantage of, regardless of who it is. So when I see my quarterback laying there, you know, unprotected, the play is over. You know what I mean? As soon as the guy touched him, the whistle blew. He rolled over, you know, so he had time to roll over and, you know, kind of getting the gesture of, you know, waiting for somebody to pick him up, which was our job. And then this guy comes running in full speed. And it's, you know, he tried to make it seem like somebody pushed him. You know, I've watched the film over and over again. There was nobody over there.
Yeah. No.
He just took a wide angle and just came down and literally just barreled into his rib cage. And that just, you know, infuriated me. And, you know, I'm one of them guys that kind of like, when I go. There is no no hesitation about it. So it's kind of like when I saw it, it wasn't even nothing I had to think about. It was instinctual. I just grabbed him and just tossed him, and you know, I wanted to try to take his helmet off his, you know, with his head inside the helmet. You know, I was trying to really push it into the turf. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just wanted to send a message like, hey, if that's what you're going to do, then you got to know this is going to come behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think I made my point. After that, I don't think anybody even came close to really getting close to Mike. And even if they did, they were very cautious about how they approached it. Mm-hmm. You know, so it sent the message. It did what it was supposed to do. You know, it sent the message to him. I don't think he even lined up in front of me or near my side for the rest of the game, and I was kind of looking forward to that, but he actually never came back over there.
Well, it's because you grabbed him 2 hands in the chest and you just put him wherever you want to. Yeah. He's not going to go up the actual game time and do that.
Yeah, no. So I think, because before he was trying to speed rush me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, and after that, he just kind of faded to nothing, you know what I mean? There was nothing left.
Yeah, we're going to talk about more, but first we're going to bring your fellow lineman, Joe Fayad, in, the big center.
That's right.
You know, we're going to bring him
we
in.
Call him, he got a couple nicknames.
Couple nicknames. All right, let me know.
So we got Joey Jihad.
All right.
Right? We got Joey Fayad. We got Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag of Donuts. That's a stand-up.
Yeah, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Okay.
Then we also got Joey, what was it, spaghetti sauce and gravy. You know, so
Joey spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, see, because Joey's like, old school Italian. We were eating spaghetti one day, and he says to me, I said, yeah, I thought I was getting fettuccine Alfredo. I'm not going to lie. Because she said it had chicken, sausage, and gravy.
Okay.
So I'm like, she said, gravy. I'm like, okay, well, that's not spaghetti sauce.
That's not red sauce.
Because in my household, gravy is gravy,
Yeah.
It's the brown stuff you put on rice and chicken and things like that. So I said, okay. And Joey he knew what it was, but he was like, yeah, no, it's gravy. In Italian family, they call it gravy. It's not sauce, it's gravy. So I'm like,
gravy is two
okay.
things.
Yeah. So I said, okay. So when the plate came out, it was red. And I'm looking at the lady and said, wait, excuse me. This ain't no Alfredo gravy. This is not Alfredo gravy. She said, no, for Italians, it's not sauce, it's gravy. So I'm still a little confused here. I'm like, okay, how is sauce gravy? Break this down for me. This is the first time ever hearing this. So, he really rated me about that. He said, well, if you don't want it, I'll eat it. And he already had like 67 wings in front of him. So I'm like, no. I said, even though I've not been a man to put chicken and sausage on top of pasta, and I said I'm gonna try it.
And gravy.
Yeah, and gravy. Red gravy.
Well, so you're lucky she was trying to explain it the first time. My grandma smacked the heck out of me when I said it's gravy. It's sauce. She said, no, it's gravy. You're gonna say gravy in my household, otherwise you're not gonna eat.
I probably would have got slapped with you because I had no clue. I had a couple friends that are Italian that I've ate at their house and everything, and I was like, oh, let me get some of that spaghetti. But you know what? I guess I never really said sauce because I said spaghetti. So, I'm like, none of them never told me. You know what I mean? I'm like, how is it I've never known this? You know what I mean? And then Joey comes in, it's not sauce, it's gravy. So, he put a little extra accent behind it when he said it. I said, all right, cool. I said, all right, fine. I'll take the gravy. I'll eat the meal. And lo and behold, he leaves his plate and they ate his. We ate his wings. So, I think he was still thinking about the gravy thing and forgot about the wings. So I don't know.
Well, we're gonna talk to him about that for sure. Coming up right after the break. But yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to you, but we'll bring you back for the last segment of the show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Here on the Dawgpound on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Anything to say, Dangles?
God bless and good night.
Well, I guess he's Don Cornelius today, but I'm Kareem Wright, number 99, and your program's number 1 in your heart. Okay? Come check me out. Left tackle, tight end. I also got a special guest. This is the heart and soul of the Bulldogs.
How you doing? Denny Williams, number 53 on your program, number 1 in your hearts, and you're listening to All News Radio.
And All Noise Radio in the Dawgpound. That's right. That's also Big D. He got a couple different names. All right. That's right. We also I got one more person here to bring in. Our quarterback, Mike. Welcome to the Dawgpound All Noise Radio. Introduce yourself.
My name is Bob Smith, the quarterback and left tackle.
We also call him Money Mike, Pretty Tony. He got a couple nicknames. Right?
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, though.
They can look forward to for the rest of the season.
Just look forward to the Bulldogs bringing the championship back to Jersey. That's about it.
You heard it right here. June 17th. What time is it? 9:13 and 46 seconds. Bulldogs bringing the championship back to New Jersey. I like.
Welcome back to the Dawgpound here on allnoiseradio.com, powered by
Connecticut School of Broadcasting, TJ.
Thank you. Thank you. And if I'm TJ Grum.
I'm Matt Coomer.
And we're here with, if you've heard the tease before, Joey Bag of Donuts, Joey Spaghetti and Meatballs, Joe Fayad, Center.
Many aliases.
Joey Red Gravy. No.
Joey Red Gravy. Leader of the Joettes.
The leader of the Joettes, yep. Coming soon.
Welcome to the Dog Pound.
Thank you for having me.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good?
Yep.
It's a long season.
It's a long season, yeah. It is. And it might be longer, but we'll see.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Joe's the center. He's the key. He's the one guy getting the ball to Merritt. Merritt might get it to everybody else, but he's getting it to Merritt. There's no center. There's no quarterback.
It's true.
There's no offensive line. There's no quarterback. Fellow offensive lineman mentality.
How many times you got to bring that up, dude? You played offensive line in high school.
I can't get over it, man. It's still real to me, damn it.
We get no credit for O-line, so you want to look for it wherever you
That's why I'm trying to help him out, and I have to explain why. People are going to question, why are you giving so much love to the offensive line?
Because I was one in high school.
One time. It's one time in band camp. Anyways.
I played JV for like 4 years.
Whoa. 2 years, all right? Give me a break. That's normally how it all, anyways. Joe's better than JV. He's on the Bulldogs, undefeated Bulldogs. Was that a modest, little look there? Am I better than JV? You're better. Come on.
Okay. I think so, yeah.
All right. Bit. Well, speaking of JV, I gotta preface this entire thing real quick. Joe's so nervous to be here. He's Kareem came in, tore down the house, and he's got to find a way to keep it up a little bit. And
I'm beating a clown, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. But all right, we're gonna get into you.
Okay.
Football. Yep. When did you take us through your football life?
I started in 4th grade. I started a little bit later. A lot of people started at a really young age. I started at 4th grade. Actually, I had no desire to play, believe it or not. One day I remember I was in the car coming home from, we went shopping, me and my mom. My friend's mom calls my mom and says, "Hey, are you ready to go sign him up?" And a conversation happens. She goes, "All right, I'm taking you to the rec center." I said, "Why?" Apparently my friend told her that, his mom we talked about joining the rec football team together. We were going to go at it. So I said, you know what, why not? Let me give it a try. He quit 3 weeks in, and I'm still here. And I played. I played starting 4th grade. I fell in love with the sport. Just the camaraderie, every aspect of the sport. I'm a football junkie now. Everything, my whole life revolves around it. I went through the midgets, and then I went into the in the high school. I played a little bit at Randolph High School. After high school, I took off because I went to a community college, so I really didn't have any opportunity to play there. I met Coach Gary Hayes. He hit me up. He had a semi-pro team in Jersey, in Jersey Stags, and I joined them. I played with them for a year. I liked it. It was back to football. I love football. Got some game film, sent it to East Stroudsburg University. I went there. I still go there. I went through their spring ball, their summer camp, made the team. A couple weeks into the season, we kind of parted ways. It really wasn't working out with schoolwork and all that. And played some more semi-pro. And now I'm here on the Bulldogs.
How did you find the Bulldogs?
Gary Hayes, actually, because I went from the semi-pro in Jersey, and then when I got to ESU, and after that kind of, fell apart, he calls me back up and says, "Hey, I have a team near ESU now in Scranton." And I was like, all right. So I hopped on with him, and we went through that season, and, we went undefeated into the playoffs, and then we lost in the first round. But, that season was over. We talked, and I said, yeah, I'll come back. Started my off-season workouts, all that, trying to get, into better football shape, everything, I get a call from him halfway through the off-season. He goes, "Hey, you want to play arena football?" And I had no idea about it, a lot about arena football. I didn't know the rules or anything like that. And he tells me, yeah, it's with Coach Turk. I've known Coach Turk because I actually played against his team twice the previous year in semi-pro, because he has the Philadelphia Braves. So I actually know him from, an opposing standpoint. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, sure, give him my number and see what happens. Coach Turk calls me up, and now I'm making that 2-hour drive every day.
And were you were you penciled in as the starting center when the season, the preseason?
Believe it or not, I've never played center in my life.
Oh,
this is actually my first stint at center. I usually play on the offensive line somewhere, guard, tackle. I came in. I love the sport of football. If he told me to be the running back, the fullback, it doesn't matter. I'll play wherever he wanted me to be. I remember the first day of practice, he was asking around. The center that was there apparently wasn't there anymore, and he just goes, "Oh, who could snap?" I said, "Hey, I'll try." Mm-hmm. Ever since then, he said, I'm going to mold you into a center. And I picked up on it really fast, and, just another thing in my arsenal now.
Yeah.
I don't want to break it up, but I kind of have to now. We were there through dog days of going through becoming a center.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know if it was difficult going up and like trying to be this snapping the ball to the quarterback with Slocum in your face, with Demetrius Hess in your face, the guys that have been playing for a certain amount of time at the college level. That would that really like mess with you a little bit, or because you have your football background, you just kind of picked it up and really went with it? I mean, it only took you about a week to really get everything going.
Right. Because of the football background, it didn't really get to me too much. What got to me was their skill level was unmatched. Like I've really credit to them. I've never seen that skill level ever lined up in front of me. And once I got comfortable with my snaps, and Mike would come up to me, or in the beginning Jeremy, or even Slocum come up to me, and they're like, "Hey, you're not going to see anything better than this," and they're right. Going against them day in, day out now. That snap is fluid now with me. That's it. Like, I'm blocking him. If I can get Slocum blocked 1-2 plays, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? That's just training me to get better and better. I'm not going to see anything above his level. I haven't. Let me say, I might, but I haven't seen it yet. Okay. So that day in, day out against him and, everyone on this team, it's getting me ready. Oh, yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Practice makes perfect, but when you're practicing against, like, the best,
right,
without an argument, the best defensive line in the IGL, you have to get better. Otherwise, You're not going to survive.
Right.
And clearly, you've gotten better. You've survived.
Yes,
and, you're part of this, probably the best offensive line in the IGL. You, Kareem, Shane, you guys. Just take me through that. Just being just that group, and you're in the middle of these two behemoths,
right,
and you're looking up, and you're like, I'm big, but these guys are bigger.
Oh yeah, I hear it every week when the pictures come out on Facebook or anything. People are like, "Where are you? You disappear. You disappear in between these two guys." But yeah, we came together really fast. Whether me, Kareem, Hawk, Ashton, we all came together very fast. Or Slocum, because he's playing on the line sometimes. We all got each other's backs no matter what. We know, we got each other's reads. We know what we're doing with each other. If one of us sees something, we tell the other one. We pick up on it right away. We have that. We got that instant family mentality to the point where we just click. It's hard to explain. We're just clicking no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
it's like I said, lineman mentality. It's like you said before. You don't get any respect. As an offensive line, you don't get a respect. The stars, the skill guys, the Twinkies, as I was told to call them. Because that's what I was told. Twinkies, they're soft and you hit them cream. That's just what I was instilled as a kid. Skill guys were Twinkies. I'm sorry. I don't mean anything to all you guys. That's just what I was told. It's just in my But yeah, the skill guys are just the stuff to save some face.
Right.
But it's just you do all the hard work, you do the dirty work, don't get any credit. But we see it. The IGL Weekly sees it. Doesn't really talk about it as much because you only have so much time.
Right.
But still, we see it. So letting you know and letting all the other offensive linemen know. We see it.
Thank you.
But Matt, do you have anything? Because I have to take a step back because I just made myself look like a fool for the Twinkie comment.
Yeah, I don't know. They're all soft, and I don't know what the fill with. I don't get that part. But
pause.
Yeah.
There's a pause moment.
No, I think it's really nice to see like that the Bulldogs offensive line really does day in and day out just exactly what they're supposed to do and protect the quarterback. Because I don't think I've ever seen Merritt or Bartok in their right mind actually have a defensive lineman or linebacker come up and have a full blown solid shot on the quarterback. And he's been staying healthy most of the season. And the one time he went down trying to tackle a guy for a 2-point conversion interception. Right. But other than that, than the cheap shot, you guys have been doing your job, and it's definitely showing up. Especially on the scoreboard.
We get on each other, like especially in practice. Like I know Kareem, you know, he would tell you that him and Slocum, they go at it. It's like two UFC prize fighters going at it. We're always on each other to get better. Like, if we're not perfect, we're mad at each other. We're mad at ourselves internally. You know what I mean? We have that, you know, yeah, it's practice, yeah, this, but no, we want it to be at 100% all the time. You know, we want to make sure. It's like, we're never like, oh, all right, he got by, whatever, you know, next play. You know, we'll move on to the next play, but we sit there for, you know, however long it takes and help each other out to find out what happened. Was the step wrong? Or, you know, what can you do better? Can you get your hand up quicker? Could you move this way? You know, could you have to call in some help? You know, things like that. So that nitpicking, every little detail, fine-tune us, I think that's what keeps us on, you know, on top of our game.
I feel like every single player in the Bulldogs has the same mentality as if you work hard in practice, the game's easy. Do you have that same mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking any credit away from any of the teams we play. You know, they're all great teams and all that, but that's how we play. We practice hard. We practice above our level so that when we go into the game, it's easy.
And it's fun.
You know, it's easy and fun. It seems like, you know, there's sometimes you go out and, you know, the first snap and you're like, wait, there's like less than what you were expecting. You know what I mean? But, you know, if we practice at 200% every time, you know, we come out to a game, nothing's gonna catch us off guard. You know, everything that we're going to see is something we've seen before, and we know how to handle it. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, it's just I want to piggyback off the whole unit as a whole. I remember we did the IGL meet and greet. Mm-hmm. We were there, and you guys, I think you were the only group to do it as a group.
Right.
Offensive, and I believe Demetrius was there as well, and he was the only defensive line. But you guys were there, and you were interviewed, and you left as a group, and I just thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. Well, like I said, you know, if you see us, like, you know, walking around or whatever, he was telling you about how, you know, we were outside the hotel the one time we stayed, and, you know, it was me, him, and Marquise, and out of nowhere, you know, it was like a party, and it was like, if you see us, if you don't know us and you see us, you would say, oh, these guys have been, you know, close for a very, very long time. Like, they've been, like, friends through school. I don't know what it was, but it was just since, you know, the IGL meet and greet, we just all clicked. Like, it didn't take much. We didn't really take much for us to get together as like a family, as a unit, like we're brothers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
you guys are finishing each other's dinners now. So you guys really are.
I blame you guys for the wings, though. You guys were interviewing me somewhere. I came back, my wings were gone. So I'm gonna put it on you guys.
Oh, we're gonna get right. Blame the media. I see how it is. What was going through your mind when that was all getting explained to Kareem? The whole sauce gravy incident.
I just kind of sat there and looked at him because I kind of knew that was going to come, but I didn't realize he didn't know until just the look on his face of just shock, like, wait, what's this? Like, excuse me. And then the waitress too, she looked at him like, wait, really? Like, she looked like she was about to smack him, like, you know, like your grandma was about to smack you. She looked genuinely offended for a little bit, like, wait, what do you mean?
Oh man, that's rough. I don't want anybody to be in that kind of situation where they're getting smacked by an Italian person just because they don't know what gravy is.
They don't probably take the rings off either.
Oh no, she did. She loaded them up. She went upstairs, went to the bureau, grabbed more. Oh man, ow. We're gonna be right back here on the Dog Pound. We're gonna bring Kareem back, get you guys your offensive lineman, get you in. We're gonna have to change the camera angles a little bit because both of you guys are gonna cover up me and him.
We don't have any wings though.
We don't have any
wings. I was promised wings. Wait.
We're going to have to talk to Fish about that one. He got the talent. I was wondering how he got this talent.
I mean, he's around. I'll talk to him. We'll see what happens.
We'll be right back here on the Dog Pound on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Shout out to the Eagles, the Flyers, the Phillies, and the Sixers. Don't forget the Soul, the back block, 4-6 in Woodland, the kick, 62nd in Elmwood. You know what I'm saying? We in here, 215 all day, 19143. You know what I'm saying?
I get all the residential blocks in Philadelphia, I guess that was.
142, you know what I'm saying? We from the Ville, too.
What? Well, I work in Center City, 19104. And then we have here Shell.
You know what I'm saying? Ann Arbor, the A Deuce, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Up top, you know, salute all that. Listen, shout out to my man Rusty, too. Rusty P. Cold Chain, you know what I'm saying? We in here.
All right. You heard it from Marquise Slocum, also known as Simba.
Free my man Rico. Free my man VZ.
All right, so here we have Shell, the showman. That's what we call him.
Yes, sir. It's lonely at the top of ourselves.
It sure is, especially when you're 6'11" and you're standing way above everybody else. All right, so you heard it here. We gave you a lot of news, a lot of good information about these Bulldogs. We also got our cornerback. We got our defensive coach.
Y'all want to say one thing? Your mom got a glass leg with Kool-Aid in it.
So we're gonna end this broadcast with this.
Yo, I love Captain Crunch's berries.
Yeah,
They gotta be berries though.
we're gonna end this broadcast with this.
I don't even want them. I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite thing is grilled cheese with the crust cut off.
So we're gonna say this. We're gonna finish it off with Bulldogs on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You know, I just want to talk about. I want to give a shout out. If you ever heard of Jerry Stackhouse, this is his cousin Marquise Snackhouse. So if you got $1 or anything like that, you put in his mouth, things come out their stomach. This is a baby vending machine. He has the sodas. He has the snacks.
And you heard of Jamal Mashburn. This is his uncle, Jamal Mashed Potatoes.
Welcome back to the Dog Pound, final segment here on allnoiseradio.com, powered by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I'm TJ Grum.
I'm Matt Coomer, and we're back in the Dog Pound.
We're back in the Dog Pound. We have a very big guest group right here. We have Joe Fayad and Kareem Wright, two of the offensive linemen for the Bulldogs. And Kareem, you have a special guest?
Yes. Tell them who you are.
I'm Kareem Wright's son. And my name is Kareem Richard Wright Jr. My name, they call me Kareem.
There you go. That's right.
It's a family Bulldog. It's a
family affair.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to the Dog Pound. Yeah, I know you just stayed there. You
never left.
I'm quite comfy.
We talked about in the first segment a little bit about the game against the Eagles. You guys had, I think, your best offensive half, that first half. Just terrific. I don't think you guys had, I think, maybe one turnover in downs or one failed, one possession that didn't end in a touchdown. You guys put up 30 points.
Yeah.
It's just, it was different ways. You had a deep bomb to Jean. What else is new? Pull the trigger. Shout out.
Yeah.
You had
a gun.
Yeah. You guys also scored running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, like we are, like I said in the first segment, we have a team that has barely scratched the surface. You know what I mean? Like we have so much that we can do, and we haven't even pulled out half the stuff that we've worked on. And actually we're like holding certain stuff back because we want to have something new for you every time we step on the field. It's like basically like to prepare for the Bulldogs is like you kind of almost have to review football, from the beginning to time to now. It's like we want to definitely make it difficult for teams to be able to prepare for us. And then not only that is that they have to prepare for what we're going to play or what we're going to do, but then they have to prepare for the physicality of what they're going to be going up against. And it's kind of like as an offense and as a defense, we're going to give you different looks. We're going to make you earn it. You know what I mean? And that first half was a great testament of how hard we work. We actually came out there and we executed very well. We got a little sloppy in this, later on in the game in terms of what we're supposed to be running and things like that. Guys, we were shorthanded. We actually had a lot of guys out that game. Yeah. But, guys were a little tired. And that's no excuse. You know what I mean? Like, we were one type of thing. If we suit up, then you're ready to play. And we just did what we had to do. You know what I mean? Like, our team always responds. Like, whether it's the defense holding us up, whether it's the offense picking it up, like somebody always responds, no matter what we need in that game. Some games this season, it's been the defense that we've needed to be the leader, and then there's been games when it's been our offense that's been the driving force behind it, or, our special teams, you know what I mean? So I think as long as we continue to play that kind of football, we're going to be, unstoppable.
Yeah, I fully agree.
And like you said, you haven't really shown everything that you can do as a Bulldogs offense. When Coach Turk brought in the Wildcat with Eric Childs, Or do you guys just rubbing your hands together, excited now that you get to run block the guys right in front of you, get to plow someone over? What's that like mindset change now that you know that there's going to be run plays called more often than just 100% pass?
I love that. I mean, come on, as an offensive lineman, all you want to do is run block. I mean, it's always, you put your nose to the wall and you just go.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And the best thing is, in the arena, like you were saying, it's always pass. Sometimes you catch these teams off guard. Their D linemen stand up, look for the quarterback, where he's going to run, where he's rolling. They give you their chest. You just bulldoze them pretty much, and you right into the end zone.
Yeah, and plus, arena is a passing game. So everyone is preparing for the pass. And they expect somebody to run it every now and then, but they don't really expect the team to come out there and try to run it down your throat 7 plays in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's where we're unique. It's like we're bringing something to arena football that hasn't been in arena since its creation. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to find a way to run the ball down your throats. And, like, for me, I've been looking for that one block that I really can, like, cream somebody, and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm kind of, the more we get a chance to run it,
the more exciting.
The more exciting it is for me because I'm just waiting for that one guy to just kind of, like, look at me and, like, you kind of like, you see that fear of God in his eyes. And, it seems like everyone keeps moving out of my way. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of waiting for that one guy to really try to step up and go through my block. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it's going to probably happen. I mean, I actually turned around last game because there was, like, nobody to block. Like, I pushed one guy, and it was like, where'd everybody go? So my coach was like, don't you turn around, just keep running. And I'm like, to where? There's nobody. I'm like, okay, coach. You know what I mean? But, like, there's, like, everyone literally just moved. There was, like, a big circle of space around me. Like I had a force field or something. I don't know.
During the pictures, too. You go through the pictures. You saw, I think we completely just dominated his offensive line. There's actually a picture of them two, holding their guys up, and I'm just standing like this. There's no one there.
I'm pretending.
I'm just like, I can't go downfield. I think my guy just turned around and went downfield. I was like, I'm just standing like this. No one to block. So, I mean, I just stood there.
I mean, I took out 2 guys in the end zone for each house to get in there, the last game. But it was, like, still not the way I wanted it. Like, I just really wanted to just plow somebody. Just
get those pancakes.
Yeah, like, I mean, I hit 2 guys and blocked them both, and they both just fell. But it was like I really barely touched the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of gave them a forearm shiver, and they both fell. And I was just like, that's weak.
Maybe they just fell because they didn't want to actually have to go up against you.
Yeah, that's what it's either that or I'm just like, I don't know my own strength. But, sometimes I know that, I can be a little strong-armed with stuff. I mean, it's like in practice, me and Slocum go at it back and forth. Like, it's like, shout out to Slocum and Simba, But, we go at it, and I think that's what makes us, so good going to the game. We have the best defensive line in the IGL going against the best offense, in the IGL. It's kind of like fireworks in practice. And, like, I mean, Joey can tell you sometimes in practice it's, like, frustrating for the offense because they talk so much trash to us and they really, are coming full tilt. And it's like we're not getting the stuff that we wanted. We're not having the plays go off the way we want them to. Mm-hmm. And then, like, we'll get pissed off and then we'll start shoving the ball down their throats. Right. And then they'll get pissed off. And it's like it just goes back and forth. And by the time it comes game day, it's like easy.
Yeah, it looks easy. Almost too easy sometimes. It's like there's no. I know it can get boring when they're not trying. Like if you guys beat these guys up all game, by end of the third quarter, if they don't want to try anymore.
Yeah.
And then you guys have to find yourself like entertaining yourself, just like, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm just holding by his head. He's running in place.
I'm standing in the middle, not doing anything.
It's like you're gonna make a little bit of mistake to see him, coach, get to ream you out a little bit. Kind of get the juices going. Like Coach Turk says to me, he says, I got to get you pissed off before the games. Because he's like, I'm a totally different player when I'm pissed off. And I told him, I said, that's because when I'm pissed off, I'm on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm mad, I'll actually like literally think about ripping you apart. So it's like, I think that's like, he's like, yeah, because you block totally different when you're mad. And I'm just like, it's a total different ball game there. You know what I mean? Because I'm not, by nature, I'm not like that all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have a temper, but it takes a lot to piss me off. Yeah. If you piss me off, then it's kind of like, look out.
And that's what's good about Turk. He, like you said, he tries to piss you off to get you going. And like in the beginning, when I first was snapping, my snaps weren't all 100%. He would yell at me or whatever. Now every game, before a game, he's like, Joe, don't let me go at your pride. Because he goes, he says, when your pride is hurt, your snaps are flawless. So he just reminds me of that. So he's very good at that aspect of like finding what everyone needs to give that one extra, that one up extra, and he gets at it.
Yeah, and I remember IGL Weekly interviewed you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you were so happy because it was the one game where Coach didn't have to get on you. And
that was
as soon as that happened, though, as soon as you made a mention, Coach didn't have to get on you this game. I'm good. I got an interview. It's a great game. Coach got on you. Fine, get the waters.
Oh yeah, that was. He had to find something. He couldn't let me. He couldn't let me have my moment. But yeah, I remember that game. That game, that was an exciting game for all of us as offensive line. Kareem, I don't think you were at that game.
No, I missed a game or two, and I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
But I had extenuating circumstances, so
And we understood, we held it down. We knew one of our brothers needed something. We understood that, so we held it down. That game, we left no sacks, no quarterback hurries. Mm-hmm. That was an exciting game for us as a unit as a whole.
Yeah, I'm like, of course you guys are gonna do that when I'm not there. It's like everybody wants to click on a phenomenal level when I'm not around. You know what I mean? But I was still excited though. I was happy that everybody, because Joe would tell you I'm always talking to the offensive line. I'm always trying to keep people in the right mindset. We always communicate. Joe asks a lot of questions. If nobody talks more than Joe, though. No. I'm talking about in terms of on the offensive line. When it comes to a play or something like that, nobody's gonna talk about that play more than Joe. You know what I mean? So we already know Joe's gonna be like, "Oh, all right, Kareem, what happened with this?"
Oh, right.
Yeah. Joe's gonna Joe's gonna go. He's gonna go over it. You know what I mean? And it's but a lot of people don't understand that works for us. You know what I mean? It's I'll be like, no, Joe, this is what it is. This, that. I'm more simple, more streamlined with it. Joe breaks it down. You know what I mean? Because I'm already a guy that watches a lot of film. Mm-hmm. So by the time it comes to the game, there's nothing I haven't seen. I've already watched every game that's played in the IGL thus far in the year, 4 times at least each game. So, I'm one of those student of the game type guys, you know what I mean? So it's when we get to me and Joe start talking about it, I'm like, all right, well look, Joe, this is what you're gonna see, this is what it is, boom. Leave it at that, and Joe's like, no, wait a minute though. I think I saw this, and this.
Covering all bases, but
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, all right, look, just be prepared for everything so that way you fall for nothing. So it's but we do that, and that actually for us it works because he's the center. You know what I mean? He's the one hiking the ball. He's the one that everything starts from. So, as the left tackle, it's we have to be on the same page. You know what I mean? Because really, I'm the guy that really is protecting the backside. Mike's back is to me at all times. So, if he's getting hit from my side, he's dead in the water. You know what I mean? So I take that personal. You know what I mean? So it's if I turn around and see that he gets hit, I get pissed off too. Wait a minute. He's coming from the side you guys can see him coming from. So why is he getting hit? And the same thing if it happens to me, and I kind of really like that about this team is that, everyone's holding each other accountable. We'll fuss and fight and argue, but it's never to the extent that people don't realize how important it is and what we're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Guys don't take it to that level. Right. It's all right, you got on me? All right, I'm going to pick it up. So.
The game against the Panthers is the perfect one. I know it was, forever ago now, but, we were down in the hole. We were 18-0 at half. And, people started to get on each other a little bit. It was a really test of the team's character, but like you said, we got to a point where we got to the line where if you crossed it, maybe something would happen. We got right to that line, looked at each other, we're like, all right, we know what happened. Let's go do it now. Let's go fix it. And,
I think I had some choice words at halftime too. I had some choice words that I can't say on the radio, but but I think everybody feels that way. You know what I mean? Everyone, and I watch. I've watched the shows and I hear you guys nicknames for some of the guys. Man Beast, right? Yeah.
Are you trying to say we need a nickname for the offensive line individuals?
We got that.
Joe.
But you have to come up with an original one. Though,
he has.
You have enough. You need more.
Joey Sauce and Gravy.
Sauce and Gravy. Yeah. You know what I mean? For me, I have a lot of nicknames. I'm like Mufasa. The Dream. You know what I mean? I don't know what else they call me. You know what I mean? But
Turk.
My son called me Shaq.
Coach Turk called you the Globe.
The Globe.
When you you just missed that 2-point conversion.
But actually, that ball floated. I told Turk. He says, "What happened to that vertical?" I said, "Turk." Let me tell you something. I said, "I'm not a man that likes to waste energy." When I realized that ball was sailing and there was no way I was going to catch that, I gave it a little jump, and I'm like, I'm not going to go jumping 50 feet in the air for a ball I can't catch. Yeah. So I said I realized it was just too far. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But then he said you used to be a Harlem Globetrotter. Now you're just the Globe.
Yeah.
That's.
But Turk, if you're listening, when you see this, but I would still kick his butt in the one-on-one. But yeah, and then by then he'll be saying, you know what, he's still a globetrotter. It's like that's something that it's kind of like once you're a globetrotter, you're always a globetrotter. Yeah. You don't forget that stuff.
No, you don't.
You just get older, but you don't forget that stuff. I can still spin the ball and still do a lot of stuff. Kids, you know how many kids ask me to do tricks every time they find out I'm a globetrotter?
Probably a lot.
I mean, I've gone to my son's school for show and tell, the globetrotter.
He brings you for show and tell?
He brought me before, So, it's a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? You don't forget that. It's always going to be a part of you.
Can I bring a basketball to practice? Can I see something?
Yeah, at our last Bulldog event, I was doing tricks for the kids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where was I? I was on the bouncy castle.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were racing. Yeah, we were having some fun.
Yeah, you was racing my son, you know what I mean?
Did you? Who won? Who won?
Tell him.
Who won?
Who was the winner? Stand up. Stand up.
I'm the winner.
You let him know who's the winner.
You let him know. Yeah, so you just talk regular.
I won.
Yeah, there you go.
Every single kid.
As a
very modest child,
general football fan and never really a player, I've always had one question in my mind that I always wanted to ask offensive linemen. Now you guys are here.
Yeah.
2-part question. Part A: do you guys eat breakfast as a team on game day? And 2, what do you eat?
One time we did. The time we stayed at the Holiday Inn. That's
okay. Yeah. You know what? This is like, okay. It's a little funny, but this is kind of like breakfast, but it wasn't.
Okay.
That night, because it was like 5 a.m. Before a game, we ate 4 pizzas and a large cheesesteak and
soda?
2 liters. Yeah, grape soda. No cliche. No,
it wasn't just a plain pizza either. Two of them were
like extra ground beef, ground beef and cheese, and one was like loaded with cheese and mushrooms.
Yeah,
and we ate that as a team. As a group,
we finished it.
Finished all of them.
4 of us.
Yes. Yeah.
So you each got a pie.
Yeah, basically, and the cheesesteak, and drank both the sodas. Yeah. We finished that, and
we already had food before that too.
Yeah. Well, no, you guys did. I didn't eat when I got there.
You were late. Yeah.
Joey and them had already ate before I got there.
I had my wings.
I didn't eat when I got there.
Infamous wings.
But actually, mostly on game day, like I have a routine. And it's kind of like, no matter what sport I play, I do the same thing every routine before a game. I get up and I sit down, I sit on the edge of the bed for like 30 minutes. And they laughed at me when I told them this, because I sit on the edge of the bed for 30 minutes and I do nothing. I just sit there for 30 minutes. And actually what I'm doing is, I call it letting my blood get through my system. But I gather my thoughts. I get up, get myself prepared for, whatever I'm going to do for that day. Then I go down and make me some breakfast. Now, a typical breakfast for a guy my size, pancakes, eggs, bacon, sausage, a couple other things, Yeah, sometimes cereal.
How many bowls? Or you got one of the big bowls?
Yeah, you got to have your daddy bowl. Okay. Like I have my daddy bowl, my daddy cups. Like I have this big Rutgers cup that I drink out of. Okay. And I have my big bowl that I eat my cereal out of. And I keep my cereal separate from theirs.
You have to, otherwise they'll eat it.
Are you eating the same stuff though?
Sometimes, yeah.
Reese's Puffs.
Yeah. We like Reese's Puffs and cinnamon toast crunch. Smacks, sugar smacks.
Not bad.
We fight over those. What's the other cereal we fight over, son?
Fruit Loops, I think. No, not them. It's called Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms.
So those cereals don't last long in the house. Like my wife kind of has like two gallons of milk. Like we have the big gallons, and they don't really make it through the week. So.
But I understand. My house goes through 6 gallons a week.
Yeah, and then I go buy the 2 for $3 Gatorades, and I drink those before the game. You know what I mean? So, by the time I get to the game itself, I'm already like well fed and hydrated. You know what I mean? And I do that all the time. I got it. Like breakfast is my number one food. Like I could eat breakfast all day long. You know what I mean? If you make me breakfast, you probably could be my closest friend. Because like if you had to choose like between like a cheesesteak and like cheese, eggs, and bacon and all that stuff, I'm going to go for that every time.
Oh, yeah, who wouldn't?
You know, yeah, I'm one of those people that goes to Perkins or one of those restaurants and orders the same thing every time.
Excuse me, I have to say something. My big brother Kareem made the goodest eggs ever.
Yeah, so he likes breakfast too, I see.
Who doesn't? It's a universally loved
really
meal.
excited. Yeah, because he was really excited. He heard me. I was coming on the show today, and he was like, "I'm going." You know, he kind of thought it was his show. He talked to me the whole way here, like, "Yeah." So what I'm going to say first is, and I'm like, "Wait, it's not your show." So, he's like, then secondly, like he just kind of like disregarded what I said. And just, second, I'm going to talk about. I'm like, son, no, wait, it's for Dad. It's not going to be for you. And he's like, no, it's the third. I'm going to. So
he's set on being a star.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he's his daddy's son. I mean, he's serious about what he wants to say. He's serious. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. He's going to stick to the grindstone. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it got a little Joey in him too. I mean. you got a little Uncle Joey in you.
Breakfast though, yeah, I'm the same as him. I'll have a big dinner though the night before. I make sure, I don't know, I own a family restaurant.
Or gravy.
Yeah,
gravy.
It depends on the night. No, I have a family. You know, my family owns a restaurant up north. So I have my pick of the food. I usually get a nice pasta dish at night. Maybe some
gravy,
some fettuccine alfredo, some penny vodka, something like that. And then in the morning, I'll choose between three things, and it's always either blueberry pancakes with some bananas on top, which is great. And
he's a little fat guy inside him. Just he's a little fat.
Everybody
guy.
has a little fat person.
Yeah, he's a little fat person that lives inside his stomach.
Was it egg whites? A Southwest omelet made with egg whites. It's always a good choice. Or classic steak and eggs. You just get classic steak and eggs. That's it though. That's all I eat. I kind of after that, no matter what time the game is, that's all I eat. I try to, I kind of not starve myself, but that's all I want. I don't want my body, working out the whatever food that's in me or anything like that.
Sweat out and smell maple syrup.
Yeah, but I always eat 3 hours before I play, though.
Right.
I've done that. I've done that since sports. I've always done that in sports.
Okay.
3 hours behead. That way your body breaks it down completely. You have your energy, and then you're ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like an hour and a half, you're going to be sluggish. Like, I did it one time, and I had the worst game I've ever played. Like, I was playing basketball because I was in the bathroom like half the game. It's like all that running just had me keep going to the bathroom, and it was horrible. My coach was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. I ate like a full course meal like an hour before we played. So, I had literally kind of just got to wipe my mouth before I pulled up to the gym. So it was like, maybe that wasn't such a great idea. So, like, from that point on, I never 3 hours before. It's always like, if I get up in the morning and eat, then that's cool. I'm not, but it's actually Joey eats more than me.
Sometimes.
Most of the I don't know. The last couple of times we've ate together, Joey's ordered more food than me.
This is true. I ordered a lot last time.
Yes, you did. I mean, like the guy came to me, I ordered like a burger, like kept it simple. Like, okay, just take this. And then Joey's like, yeah, I'll take the 20-piece wings, and I'll take also the burger. Then I'll also take some steak fries, and I'll take this. And by the time he's done, I'm like, where is all that going? You know what I mean? He's
I have my moments.
Little fat guy.
I have my moments.
Yeah, little fat guy stomach. He was like, let me get some extra sauce on the side. Not gravy. He was getting sauce. It was sauce for the wings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like getting extra little containers. Really, like, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yeah, he did eat it all. And I'm like, I'm 6'11", 420 pounds, and I'm not putting away that kind of food. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm like, Joey's going in. I mean, I'm like, this guy can eat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to invite him to my house if he eat more than me. I don't think I have enough food in my house. Between my kids and you, I might need to get a second job or something. I might need to play in the IGL Deuce. You know what I mean? Like, I might need to do both. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's a little too much,
I mean, I've always owned my family's always owned a restaurant, so I'm always kind of like, when I work, I cook, I eat, I cook a lot, so usually like eating, so,
Yeah, I mean, I said I was going to do a team, like every team I've ever played on, I've always done a cookout at the end of the season, and I was like, I don't, just watching Joe eat, I was like, there's still like 24 other people I would have to have eat. I'm like, I'm going to need like $5,000 to buy enough meats. You know,
Just demand that he eats before he comes in.
well, I mean, I think I've made a solution. Like if I'm going to do the cookout, I'm actually going to go out to somebody's farm and slaughter one of their. Yeah. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go take out my shotgun. I'm going to just shoot me 2 cows. You know, slice them up, get them all ready, put them in the truck, and then I'm going to go find somebody's pigs and chickens on the way home. And, you know, that way I should have enough beef, pork, and chicken to feed the whole Bulldogs football team.
Who's making the gravy, though?
Yeah, you're making the gravy. You're making the gravy.
I'll make you the gravy.
We'll
We'll be good at that.
I'm going to eat the whole pork.
Yeah, so my son's going to eat the whole pig. So, I mean, we're going to need a lot of food to feed the Bulldogs. Like, these guys can eat, man. Like, you know, I wrote... I rode to practice with Rusty and Slocum one day, and I didn't realize that they stop and eat before every practice. They stop and eat before every practice. So they're like, this team can go. I mean, like, everybody eats. I'm like, I'm the guy trying to lose weight, and these guys are going to make me fatter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, they're not. They're going to eat all the food, and you're going to be like, well, I guess I'm not going to eat.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've never done that. Like, I've never, like, stopped and really ate before practice or nothing. I never did. Like, they're, like, stopping, like, this is a regular. The girl's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to hook you guys up. I'm like, you guys come here often? They're like, yeah, all the time. Like, yeah, before every practice and on the way home. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, like, these guys can go. You know what I mean? So I'm really going to have to slaughter my own farm. This is going to be a lot of work.
Sorry, old McDonald.
Yeah. Let's say, Kyle says what? Move. You know, it's like, it's a done deal. You know what I mean?
Now, I got 2 style questions. One, thank you for coming in dressed.
Oh yeah,
very very stylish.
To impress.
Yeah, look,
you do have the Bulldogs. That's good. And your son, little Kareem's also dressed style.
I have a suit. I mean, hold on. I can.
We went to a funeral today.
Yeah, but we don't want to bring Debbie Downer. Yeah.
Now, Kareem, you've kind of not got anything going up there. You're kind of bald.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I got my Michael Jordan thing going.
I don't know if you're tender about that or not.
No.
Okay. Some people are. They're very sensitive about their lack of hair.
Yeah, but you know what? I have so many women that think it's sexy that it really doesn't bother me.
It's fine.
Because I'm like, when guys make fun of it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't sleep with guys, so why would I care? You know, why would I care what you think about my hairline when I got your girlfriend saying that it's sexy as hell? You know. Now, so let's see. You or your girlfriend? I think I'm going to go with the girlfriend option.
Now, what do you think of his hair? Because it looks, it's new. It's brand new. It's brand new. It might be hours old.
I mean, yeah.
It is
Hold on.
I mean, listen. I was when I saw Joey, walk in, and I said, "Wow!" And I looked at his hair. I'm like, did that come with like a powder mask and extra mango sauce for the face and everything? I mean, like, it's beautiful. Like, I haven't seen this kid, all shined up all season. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like for me to see Joey like to come in here with the hair slicked back, the Joey Buttafuoco look. I wanted to just throw this guy in the suit and put a cigar in his mouth. He looked like he's straight out the mafia. He looks good. He looks good.
I'm gonna go with what he said with the whole girl aspect. I mean, I was growing the beard out in the beginning of the season, the winning beard. It got too long, too hot out. I had to chop that off. So I said, screw it, I'll do the hair. But now I couldn't even hide it with a hat. The hair was like rolling up. And girls started coming up to me and they're like, no. No. They don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to you right now. No. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm shocked. Like I said, this guy comes in here like he's going on a date after this. I mean, like, this is like, wow. I mean, like I said.
Look, I might be.
TV.
Yeah.
North Jersey, I got the hookups. I mean, just saying.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. Look, the eyebrows and everything. I mean, I don't know. You got everything lined up.
I'll show you where I got this done.
I mean, my haircuts are free. I don't. Like Joey done went and got a little KJ cut. Like they got the same hairstyle. You got the baby KJ.
Oh man,
I like that.
Baby K. Do you want that as your nickname?
No.
We'll think of ones for you guys that are original.
Yeah.
I know you don't like.
What about me?
KJ. You don't like that? You want something new?
I want my rap name to be in it. K-Jizzle.
K-Jizzle. There you
go. K-Jizzle. All right.
There it is. It's official. So it's K-Jizzle now?
Yeah, cause
All right, I'll make sure your book bag says that when you go
All
to
right.
first grade.
There you go.
Zach Kareem, right? It's got K-Jizzle, first grade.
Nice.
There we go.
First Jizzle.
Yeah, oh, okay.
First grade.
First Jizzle, yeah.
I like it. It was cool.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I've had a lot of fun.
I had an absolute blast.
I
Thanks.
had
1,000 fun.
1,000 fun.
too.
Like, you know, like
that is
the cell phone commercial.
Oh my God.
Mind blowing.
Infinity times infinity, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, you know, we've kind of actually been like looking forward to this all season. Like, you know, we're all like, yo, when we going on the show?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is great. I mean, we get to come in here and talk about the Bulldogs, and you know, you guys are always, you know, great hosts. You know what I mean? We enjoy talking with you guys, and we're excited, man. You know, we got a couple games, and till we, you know, raise that trophy, and you know, we put those rings on, and you know, I couldn't be happier right now. I mean, I'm ready. Like I said, Bulldog Nation is ready to take over.
Yep.
You know, people better look out. Be ready for us. You know, it's kind of like get down or lay down. That's the motto right now. You know, it's like it's either Bulldogs or you're gonna get ate up. You know what I mean? So you get in the kennel with the Bulldogs. You can't come in there and be no poodle.
You can't open our cage, and that's it. We want, you know, everyone on this team wants it. It's everyone, you know. There's nothing more to be said. Like everyone has this opportunity. Everyone understands the opportunity they have, and we all want it. We all want to play. You know, give us another game. Give us another game. You know, all week we're chomping at the bit to see another. You know, we're going at each other. You know, the animosity dies down at the end because you know we're family at the end. We want to. You know, we want to see another jersey in front of us. We want to go at it with people, you know. That's just, you know, we're all passionate about football.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to the teams out there that have been, you know, talking about us, you know, they know who we are. You know, it's like you know, there's been a lot of talk, there's a lot of hoopla about the Bulldogs, and we're not ducking nobody. We've played everybody that stepped up and played us.
Yep.
So, you know, it's kind of like, if you want to play us, come there on Saturday, line up. You know what I mean? And that goes out to any team, whether it's the Hornets, whether it's the Steelers. You know, we play you. We set it up, we get it going. Football is football. On any given Saturday, it's Bulldogs football.
Yeah. Well, Joe, Kareem, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Had a blast.
Thank you.
We'll have to figure out a way to get, because everybody wants on this now,
Yeah.
and everybody wants back on this. Everybody who's been at Coach Carter, Will Crawford, Dijon, they all want back on. So we got to figure out a way to get you guys all on.
Yeah, I don't know if we have enough mics for all of them.
No, I'll figure something out.
We got a lot of personalities. We might have to just do like one big mic in the middle of the room and just have a camera on a spindle. Just,
right.
That kind of gets everybody on. Yeah, it just rotates around and get everybody. You know, because Dijon is, we call him, you know, incognito. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we have nicknames for everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I don't know how much of it could go on the air, but
we'll think of something.
Very interesting.
It might just end up being like the after practice special we did.
That was great. It might be, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, I'll have to talk
Constant
to
entertainment, perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the
instant
point.
classic. That's what we did.
Instant classic.
Hard Knocks
Instant classic.
Bulldogs edition.
Hey,
Hey.
there we go. Maybe.
Hey, fish.
Well, you already know that I should be mic'd up because I think I always have something. I think I always got something that's kind of like worthy to go on camera or kind of be on audio.
You should make Mike Rusty up.
Yeah. Come on, Turk. Let me run the ball one time, Turk. Shout out to Rusty for his game last week, 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
Rusty. Well. We're having such a good time.
I think that one's going to stick.
Yeah, that one might
Rusty Dusty. Yeah.
I might put that right on the message
Or is it Dusty Rusty?
Right on the message
We'll have to figure out.
Or Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
The American
Dusty
Dream?
Rhodes.
The American Dream? Well, you guys are leaving the Dog Pound, as are the listeners. They're leaving the Dog Pound. I'm TJ Grum.
I'm Matt Coomer.
And we'll see you later.